till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome into Pregaming out there. Appreciate you guys rocking here on Sports Money. Who's responsible for making sure I hit the go live button? I was talking for 4 minutes before I realized, why does it still say go live? Maybe that's my bad because I was live betting. I was live betting a tennis play. I gave it to you guys in a parlay. It's a minus 140 for Clara Towson. WTA. Clara Towson. To beat Caroline Goline. That's what it looks like right there. That's how we're going to do it here in this spot, which correlates. I gave you guys a parlay earlier today, a 3-leg parlay. The third leg will be tomorrow. It is Jessica Pegula. But I put Fritz in there. Taylor Fritz, men's tennis out there in Washington, D.C. Followed it up with Clara Towson. She was a plus 275 after that first round. And last but not least, Jessica Pegula tomorrow. She's a minus 275 here for tomorrow, which would pay us, I think it was a 130, something like that, plus a 130. Excuse me, my allergies have been difficult today. And I had technical difficulties, all kinds of things, all kinds of obstacles in the way. I did give out 2 plays to our silver and gold members. One of them cashed already. That was the Milwaukee Brewers, the Brew Pops. Brewers get it done against the Mariners. Funny how that series worked out. We bet the Brewers, we won. We faded the Brewers, we won. We bet the Brewers, we won. Dialed the F in. We whacked 2 unders in that series, and we whacked 2 parlays in that series. How about that? You like apples? How do you like them apples? That's what I'm saying here. We'll take that. We'll take that as a start. My recognition in reflecting on men's tennis is I'm just no good at it anymore. I thought I was good. I used to be decent. Any trend I find, I think I got to start fading it. And I can't give you guys a fade. That's just not, it's not how we do business up in here. But I'll tell you what we do for business. We give you guys all kinds of production. We've got ourselves First Strike that'll be coming out here tonight. I've looked at the fights. We've got 3 of them. We went 2-1 last week. Can we get the sweep tonight? Tell you what, good juju, positive omen. Came across the tweet as I was looking up UFC Abu Dhabi. We were 14-2 at one point going into the Abu Dhabi matchups last year. So that's a good omen. I think we do have ourselves a sweep in play here this week. We'll see what happens. I don't want to jinx it before it starts. But yeah, just a small Major League Baseball card. I've got plays in 4 games. Damn. The Astros and their ability to screw me in the 9th inning is becoming world renowned. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll be okay. We're going to be okay. As I was saying, small baseball card. 5 games. 4 games we've got action on. 3 of those games we've got 2 plays. We've got 1 WNBA game in play tonight. I think we found a positive angle to crack and attack that spot tonight. And so we're going to do our best to get to work. But I mentioned First Strikes out there. You can check out the VB MMA show. We've got golf back in the States this week as well. MMA Jeff and I busted out some PGA best bets for the 3M Open. You can check that content out as well. So there's plenty of action despite kind of this doldrum of the middle of summertime. We'll be okay. We'll get through this thing. We got CFL pops off again tomorrow. So we'll be back in the groove as we get heading towards the weekend. And don't forget the UFC card. When does it start? Bright and early, 12 p.m. Eastern for us East Coasters, 9 a.m. West Coast for you West Coasters. That's the way it's going to go. So you're going to want to get up early. That means, though, the positive, it ends early by 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be heading on out to some fun with the friends. Anytime we get those early cards, I try to make sure I take the advantage because you guys know the deal. Starting at 7 p.m., we're going till 2 a.m. You got to enjoy these summer spots when you can get them. And we've only got, 2-3 more events until the break that rolls off here in August. So time to get paid. Well, I'm not going to say what we're going to blow it up like because it seems like that's bad juju as well. But we're going after it, you guys. We got ourselves action tonight, as I mentioned. We're going to get rolling in Baltimore and Cleveland. That's a 6:40 p.m. start. We've got Boston and Philadelphia. That's a 7:05 start. The Yankees and the Jays will start at 7:07. I don't know. This White Sox and Tampa game, don't play for me. I'll give you some trends. I'll share some trends. Best I can do is give you some information, and hopefully it helps lead you to a winning spot. And then the Athletics and the Rangers will bring us home. A little bit of a bloodbath yesterday. Dropped a couple units back to the house. Now, it was ugly, but it wasn't. I don't know what to say it. We could put lipstick on it. Still going to want to skewer it and throw it on the old smoker because it's still a pig. We got busted up in that Pirates double dipper. First 5 under 4.5, full game under 8. And for what it's worth, the Tigers, although they didn't get shut out, did not win off a shutout. Furthermore, had the Pirates today. Detroit, I told you yesterday, they're reeling. Now, they scored runs today, but up until they were averaging, 0.8? Well, I'm sorry, they scored runs yesterday. I think they had, 1 today? Not the best Pirates outing, but nonetheless, we lost both those games, both those spots. We did catch that Miami spot. We zigged and we zagged. We liked that Miami spot yesterday, and we catch. We lost the Red Sox. Tight game, small game, 4-1 final. Under was good money. I told you guys I like that under, but I gave you guys the Red Sox plus 168. They finally snapped. Well, I shouldn't say snapped. They still didn't cover their team total. They're still struggling to get to that 4 mark. We'll see if tonight's any different. Toronto and the Yankees. At Toronto, it was the Yankees. However, it was a 5-4 final. So, final, as my man Ramon Scott's computer says. Gave you guys the Giants. We told about that 14-0 spot. Remember, anytime the Braves score 6 or more in that favorite role, you want to fade them the next day. And that's what we did. They got shut out. Now, I ran back San Fran today. I figured that lineup with Atlanta. Got to cap the lineup a little bit here. Stats-wise, injury-wise, things that are going on. And it was a good winner today. Holy hook is what I would say with that. Chicago Sky and Minnesota Lynx game, 159.5, came in at 159. Cash. The under screwed us again in that Texas and the Oakland game. Nomad game, the Nomad Lions. Nomad Athletics, I should say. Under 7.5, it was a 6-2 final. We lost that game. We did win Seattle. I talked about the zigzag. Another 1-0. Man, that Seattle team can't score at home. Said it again. They lost today 6-2. But we did get the right side of that game yesterday, 1-0. My hunch that something was wrong with Framber Valdez, probably not accurate. The reason we took Arizona and the over was expecting that Valdez spot, not just to take the Arizona spot at like plus 105s, but trying to get the big score. Loss is a loss. Counts the same. 1 unit. Counts all the same. Now, for those of you that did read between the lines, the Dallas Wings plus 9.5. Here's the thing about that game. By tip-off, it was down to 7 and even 6.5. They went down 10-0 to start that game. That live line was 11.5. The money line was plus 475. This show I may have told you. Want to go out there and get wild? You want to have some fun? You take that money line out there because the Wings certainly offense can produce with anybody. They went out there and busted them up outright, Seattle, in their own barn, 87-63. We did cash our plus 9.5. So, going to have those days, I guess. Good news is we're rolling out of this All-Star break now. We're going to have 2 series under our belts as we roll into this weekend. And hopefully we can get back to business as usual. So that's the way it crumbled. That cookie was stale. It crumbled as soon as you put it in your hand. It was ugly. But the good news is we're 42 days away from the NFL. We're 31 days away from college football. We're about 60 days away from the NHL, 75 days away from the NHL. Don't quote me on that one. That's off the cuff. Man, I'm excited about this card tonight. Again, just a couple of games, but money stretched out. Had a decent day today, so there is money to spend. We see Clara Towson's now up 2-0. 2-0. Let's see if she can close this out for us. Much more confident when it comes to women's tennis. I wonder what that's about. She's now minus 650. Clara Towson. Well, she's now minus 525. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it. How about speaking of women's tennis? Man, I think I talked about it yesterday. Venus Williams, 17-1, just to win the game, the match. Blew her out, busted her up. Minnesota Twins tied up 2-2 on this Los Angeles Dodgers. What else? What else can I share with you guys here along the lines of kind of like Lerner Tien, but that's a men's tennis spot. I'm going to take a little sprinkle because he's plus 120, but nothing I want to get too excited about. So that's the way it goes. Let's go. Let's figure it out. Let's talk about how we're going to get paid. But before we do any of that, you guys know the deal. We are in show, and it's time to show some love. You do that by way of supporting the show. How do you support the show? A lot of ways. We are viewer supported. Listen, we are not big business supported. We're not charging $99 for 3 days worth of plays. All we're asking you to do is smash the thumbs up. And if you want to get involved in some of our premium action, you've got options. You can upgrade to a silver or gold level here. You can shoot on over to winnable. But the most important thing to do to help us here is smash that thumbs up button. Take a second if you haven't done so. Give us a thumbs up. One of the ways I like to bet tennis, by the way, is live betting. If the player that you thought was going to win loses the first set, or a favorite loses that first set, generally you can get them as a good number to win the second set. Probably a plus money number, or at least all the juice taken out for them to win the game outright. So keep that in mind as we look at some of this. Now, Clara Towson is minus 900. So things are going okay there. Things are doing just fine. I did want to show you guys this. Let me take a peek. Let me pop this up. Bear with me for 1 second. We'll get to this game in just a minute. Going to be plenty of time, but I want to show you guys this. You should be checking in here on the regular if you're not doing it already. I don't know what you're doing. You don't want to miss the action that we're sharing with you guys. But wow, see, they keep doing this to me. See what they're doing. See what they're doing. There we go. We'll just keep it like this. It's good and fine. Home tab videos. Lots of videos. There's that 3M open. Live tab. Skip over the shorts because I usually clip the videos to put some shorts out there for quick views. Live tab. Here's that VB MMA Ramon Scott breakdown. 3 fights for this UFC Abu Dhabi card. Looks like a really good card. Should be some quality violence. I wanted to show you the post tab. Afternoon tennis. Here's that parlay selection. Fritz, Towson, and Pegula. Fritz won. Towson was a dog after that first set. And then Pegula tomorrow for a plus 130 was the price tag out there. And the afternoon baseball as well. You don't want to miss out. The Diamondbacks, they're down now 4-3. That sucks. And the Brewers busted them up. So make sure you guys are checking in on that sports money post. You don't want to miss out on that action that's there. Try to put it out there on Twitter as well. But of course, taking a second to sign up for the free plays on Winnable. You won't miss out. Doesn't mean we're going to win, but you won't miss out. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat. We're going to zip down the chat, see exactly what you guys have. It's my favorite part of the show. Let's talk about your best bets. Then we'll reassemble. I'll talk about my plays. We'll get everybody up out of here and get this show on the road. Let's go. Gerald Jones is going to give you guys a winner last night. He's 2-0 this week. He's on a run. I told you this guy was going to bust out, blow up. Red Sox, Phillies, first 5, under 4.5 for our guy tonight. Shout out to Robert McCormick. There's Nicholas Handy. There's Stop Geoengineering. Deputy Moore says, like button. What up, Mikey? What's up, Tim? Ignatius Penny Feather the 7th is here. Let's go. Joe W. Fernando Mendoza. Redbeard says 12 p.m. UFC. Day drinking engaged. Let's go. Shout out to Sports Betting Patrick the Groovy Alien says, hey, Big Pimp Slap. Do you book back Freed against the Canadians tonight. Chase seemed like good money with Freed and his blisters on his hand below his belt. Huh. We'll talk about it. Stop Geo Engineer likes Cannon under 16.5 outs. I never think about that as a bad bet. We know that White Sox team likes to shuffle through the lineup. Cannon unders are always a good look. Stop Geoengineering. Thanks for sharing. Kenny Woods here. Let's go. Sports Betting Patrick says he tailed that Dallas play. Let's go. Let's go. Jerry Davis. Already on Rublev in a parlay. Fernando says Twins take the lead. Damn, I almost bet the Twins live too. Man. It's all right. We're still trying to get our groove back. Speaking of our groovy alien there, we're going to get our groove going here in Major League Baseball. It's just starting the second half of things here. But is it just me or am I zoomed ultra far away? What the fuck happened? What is going on with this setup? Definitely ultra far away. That's weird. Probably not on your guys' end, but on my end, yeah. All right, well, the show must go on, as they say. Let's start this thing off. Let's get to it. I don't know. It's weird. Super far back. Super zoomed. I don't know. My internet's getting hot. It's getting hot in her. The internet's not operating properly. It's going to be over 100 degrees the next couple of days. That is not exciting. But we're off to go. We're going to get this thing rolling here. Let's start with this early game. We've got, look at even this is screwed up. Man. It's funny. It's like I'll come back from lunch and then all of a sudden reset. It's like, what the hell happened? 75% of the bets, 85% of the cash are on the Cleveland Guardians. This total opened at 8.5. I'm going to tell you this. I really like this under 8.5. This was a first cut. And the reason I first cut it it's because I double dipped a lot of other games, well, most of the other games. So I was a little apprehensive here. I'll tell you, there's some really strong trends to this under, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. Mostly it's because of Eflin that's got me struggling with pulling the trigger on this thing. You know, when you look at this guy's overall, I wonder if this is why. Or if that's why. Or if that fixed things. A little bit. All right. Either way. Away we go, you guys. As I was discussing Eflin, this guy is piece of shit status right now. And I don't say that lightly. His ERA is disgusting. Sitting on a 6.98 in recent form. Bad. Really bad. The bullpen, even worse with a 9.82. That's why I looked at these games and I was like, man, how are you gonna go out there and take an under in this spot? I'm gonna tell you, Baltimore, just their bullpen walking runners like crazy. Eflin's walking runners like crazy. After a game where they're allowing, Baltimore 6 of 7 in their last 7, they're allowing runs like crazy because their staff just hasn't gotten their shit back together. They're in a 1-10 road start situation. I mean, it's just a bad spot, in my opinion, for Baltimore. Now, Joe Public will look at this and say, well, Mikey, look, don't you know that Baltimore's facing a potential sweep in the series? I don't care. That follows along the lines of birthdays and bobblehead nights for me. This is just coming down to the X's and O's and the Jimmies and the Joes in the spot. 10-5 win, 6-3 win. Cleveland, I talked about this when their series started, not season started. Sub 500 for a team that generally is built to play at home. I got to get involved with this Guardians team. You know, if it wasn't for Eflin, I still like to look at the fact that this team's got a little groove going on right now, and I want to get involved with it. And I think at a minus 130 price tag, it's a reasonable spot to get involved. You know, again, when I talk about Eflin, yeah, it's righty-righty, but look at Eflin. You know, you look at just kind of pulling up his data. Recent performance, dude, he got the hook. He hasn't started in a month. He went 1 inning, got blown up, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. He's given up 7 home runs in his last 5 starts. 6 of them in his last 3 before they finally shut him down. No, thank you. Like I said, it was the first cut for me with this under, and I thought it was the right decision because how are you going to back this Eflin cat when he has been on the struggle bus. And furthermore, we have a situation where it's the first game back after a month off. You know I want to get involved in the old fade train when it comes down to it. So that's the way we're going to open this card up, you guys. Cleveland's going to pop off here in about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I think minus 130 is very fine. Nice. Irish King says, did it again. Turned some change into hundreds on roulette. $2 and a $3.60. Fuck yeah, dude. Good for you, man. Go get it. Damon Waring likes Yankees and Guardians money line. White Sox plus 1.5. Irish King says, woke up to Milwaukee money line win. And he hit Houston live 3-3 right when I woke up. Nice, dude. 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. My guy says, smash that like button. Jerry Davis says, damn, I can't disregard the bobblehead skills boost. And Bo Jackson, our resident Toronto whisperer, comes in here sliding in with the Jays. He likes that Bassett side of things, it looks like here. So let's go. Let's get to this next game because we do have a double dip. And you guys have heard me say this before. Just because we missed it, I gave you your flowers, Bo. I talked it. I said, my man came in and said it. I said yesterday, you came in the day before and said Jays. I gave it to you. Andy Cash with the Yanks last night. It's the rubber match. It's the split spot out there. Let me talk about this Philly spot for a minute. I don't believe in birthdays. I don't think I've seen any players correlate results to their birthday performance. You guys are going to have to dig it up and show me. I don't believe it. What I will say is this. Was it Usher? Usher was playing last night after the concert or after the Phillies game? And you saw the Phillies dudes out there dancing in their gear. Then, on top of that, you saw the fact that they were playing for their boy not making the All-Star game. That was a big miss on my part. Yeah, you can't quantify that in terms of the handicap, but you got to look at some motivation. That boys are feeling good. And they got there and they won that game 4-1. Low-scoring affair again. Still didn't get their team total. I saw them dancing around with the Usher concert, and I saw that they were playing for Sanchez because he didn't get the All-Star game nod, and I was like, fuck. What a miss. It was a tremendous angle. And it was a miss. And I got to be better. I apologize to everybody that tailed that 168 spot. But just because we missed it last night doesn't mean you're not going at it again tonight. And I'll tell you, I got a couple trends that will support a couple of these plays. Last night we were on, I talked about the under, right? Didn't give you guys the under, but I talked about it. And I thought, what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing that the Phillies can't break that magical team total number. Now, today, we have 67% of the bets, 67% of the cash on the Phils. It has moved 4 cents in their direction. The total at 8.5 has not moved, with 82% of the bets and 92% of the cash on the over. And you've got Jesus and Giolito. Jesus Luzardo with a 4.29 ERA. Lucas Giolito, 3.59 ERA as well. And I still got to ask you, do you think in this spot the Phillies are going to go out there and explode? Now, it is Giolito. I'll give him that. However, I think when you look at this spot, a couple of things shine true for me. First of all, the over. The over to me was tremendous value. I'll tell you, a couple of these trends out there, we have intersecting zeros. You know we love our intersecting zeros. We had them last night in the WNBA. We cashed. We have 9-0 in the Philly side of things. When they're the favorite, team that they're playing is averaging less than 10 hits against a righty. And they haven't scored 5 or more runs in 3 or more games. That one's crucial to me because when I saw that, I was like, well, you know what? This team has been struggling to get to that team total mark, and 4.5 would be a 5. So the fact that they haven't gotten there and they're facing Giolito led me to say there's going to be some runs on this Philly side of things. Plus, it's hot and humid. Jesus is 8-0 to the over after a pitch count of less than 100. So in other words, they kind of either he went out there and pitched like Jesus, or they kept him on a pitch count. Now they're going to pull a leash off him. Either way, he leaks runs. And he leaks runs to a total of 11.9 runs a game total in those spots. Almost 12 runs a game. Then we got Giolito. This is where the intersecting zero follows back through. It's 8-0 on Giolito starts. Non-divisional. He had at least 23 batters he faced that previous game, and on average, they're spitting out 15 runs. On average. Total in those games. So I had to jump in on this 8.5. I know the juice is out there, or that it's not moving, and the cash flow is coming in on that over, but still think those numbers with the intersecting zero are just too strong to fade. Now, Jesus, as the lefty pitcher, stakes it home, 4.8 ERA. His last game, he got the hook. 4.2 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 home runs. All of that correlates to me. That was against that Angels team that really put the Phils on the ropes. Now, something of note. Who do the Phillies have next? The Yankees in Yankee Stadium. I'm not saying that's necessarily a look-ahead spot, but I certainly don't want to back the Phillies, and that's how I got into this Boston side of things. I looked at Giolito. I looked at some of his spots. The AL beats the NL. That's a factor. We talk about the AL teams. When they're playing each other, they're 500, as we see in that Philly or that Toronto and Yankee spot. When they get out of division, they do tend to put a thump on there. And Giolito, as pile of shit status as he may have earned in his career, he's 3-1 on the road, and he's got 2.55 ERA. Did give up some hits last game, but overall, he's keeping runs off the board. His last game was against the Cubs. That was pre-All-Star break. I'm sorry, no, that was the first game back from the All-Star break, and he gave up 4 runs to the Cubs. We'll give him a pass. We'll give him a reprieve for that. Prior to that, he gave up 3 runs in 6 games. Guy's on fire. I'm going to go with Giolito. I can't believe I'm saying that this dude's on fire, but I'm double dipping this Boston game. I'm going with the over. I'm going with Boston. I'm not going to parlay the two together like we did with that Arizona spot or we did with the Milwaukee spot the day before, because I want both these in standalone spots, just the way that I spread the unit across this landscape tonight in games. Shout out to AOD. Let's go. Gerald Jones and Sanchez had 12 Ks last night. Yeah, dude. They were playing for the dude, man. He was pissed he wasn't in the All-Star game. The previous year, the entire NL comprised of Phillies. This year, they can't even get their best pitcher in Sanchez into the game. Trey Hampson's as hot as hell. Yeah, dude, it's getting warm out here now. It's heating up in the afternoon. That's how you know it's going to be hot the next day. It's going to put Irish King's going to put his newfound roulette wealth on the Mikey Money play of the day. You won't like my play of the day, but my second play of the day would be the over in this game. Every single pitcher got at least 5 Ks today, like nothing, says SF Niner. Fortunately for me, I was busy. A busy bee today, trying to get ready for some UFC. I'm fired up for this UFC card. I'm going to have some fun stuff in store for you guys here this weekend. Get ready. It's going to be a fun card. Yankees will pop off here to host the final game of this, or not host, but they will be the guest of the final game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Tricky little spot. The Yankees open up as big road favorites, -144. It has dropped to -135. And you have 55% of the bets and 51% of the cash on the Yankees. Totals at 8.5. 74% of the bet, 72% of the cash. Shout out to all you guys that were on that Yankees team total. I know our guy Justin McCalvey was on that team. A bunch of you guys were on that Yankees team total over 4.5. And hey, they got 5. That's all they needed to get. You guys cashed. Congratulations. I was wrong. It takes big man to admit when you're wrong, and I was wrong. And I'll do it right here on camera with you guys and give you your flowers. However, now this line is juiced to the under 8.5, and there are some pretty powerful Yankees trends to the under. I should say game trends to the under. Max Fried, Chris Bassett. What a battle. Bassett recently had his cherry popped. He had himself a 20-0 trend rolling in, and it got busted up. Now, I really like this under. I do. I thought it was a reasonable spot to get invested on this under. The travel spot, the getaway day, the fact that the Phillies and Yankees played next. However, I took a step back from that, and I'll tell you exactly how I opted to get involved. What's going on here? What's going on? Shit's all messed up today. I'm doing it. I thought about the adjusted line -2.5 to -3.5. Call me crazy. I got it. I understand. It's not a favorite position right now. However, yes, the Yankees have the Phillies on deck. The Phillies are in a gettable position. They're not scoring runs. So I don't believe you're going to look ahead to an NL opponent when you're struggling in your division and you're playing the top team in the pile. That is the Toronto Blue Jays. Furthermore, yes, they're traveling, but they have a day off tomorrow. So it's no harm, no foul. In my opinion, Max Fried crushed it. This isn't just my opinion. In my opinion, that I should say my opinion, period. And now new sentence. Max Fried crushed it in June. He had a 1.92 ERA. He sucked in July, 6.43 ERA. He's walking dudes. That's what the problem is for this guy. As a lefty, he's just not pitching well. He doesn't have some command and control right now. And on the other side of things, Chris Bassett with the 3.89 ERA, just consistent. Not really doing anything spectacular. That's the problem I have with the Blue Jays in this spot. Average strikeouts, average ground ball rates. He is working on his walk rate, sure. Just brought that down a couple points. But, and frankly, in July, he's got a 1.89 ERA. So when you're looking at it going, how the hell are you going to fade with those numbers that you're looking at? Well, first of all, those are the starting pitchers. Maybe they go 5, 6, even 7 innings for us, but you fade home dogs on Wednesdays in Major League Baseball. Yeah, that's the thing. It's 8-2 in its last 10. It's 19-3 in the last 22 spots out there. The home dog fade. Yes, the Phillies are up next, as I mentioned, but how about Max Fried? Why am I backing Max Fried, even though Bassett just had the old hymen popped? Because when you have totals of over 6.5, and Max Fried is less than a huge favorite defined as -320 or larger, not a huge favorite. Max Fried's 8-2 in his last 10, 95-24 over the course. The 7.5 mark for me indicated that he can give up a run or two. The team still backs this guy, and with all those factors I talked about to lead up into the actual play itself, I'll take the -1. You want one more? I'll give you one more. How about this? Chris Bassett, the old Bassett hound. Allowed 10 hits, no runs. We've talked about where I think the luck factor. I'm not saying dudes are due. I'm just saying the luck factor, right? Baseball luck, not like he's lucky. I mean, he's lucky, but baseball luck. How do you give up 10 hits and no runs in just over 6 innings? I don't know. And it doesn't happen very often. But going back to July of 2008, the 7 times it's happened, that pitcher's never won the following game. Furthermore, the average margin of defeat, 4.7 runs a game. Hence, the -1.5, -2.5, -3.5. Shit, even a -4 or a 4.5 might very well be in play if the show ends early enough for me. But for now, the Yankees -1, -110, fading the narrative that Bassett crushes at home and Max Fried is in a struggle spot. I showed you where Chris Bassett should struggle and why. I showed you why Max Fried should succeed and excel. And that leads me to the Yankees. I'll take a -1, -110. I like the -1.5. They're the road team. They get the extra 9 inning at-bats. But we're not going to fuck around and find out in this game here. We're trying to bounce back from yesterday's performance. We'll take the -1 at -110, knock some of that vig out of there, and see if we can't find ourselves a happy-go-lucky victory here. I know Bo Jackson says, let's go Jays. I love the Jays, man. You know me, Phillies and Jays. But I got to go with the Yankees tonight. I just think there's too much for them. There's too much at stake for the Yankees. I don't want to say their season's on the line, but their season's on the line tonight. I don't know. Now, you tell me if fucking Wu-Tang's playing at Toronto after this game or fucking, Miley Cyrus. I get it. I didn't see that. Granted, I didn't look. I didn't see that as what's on deck next. So if Vladdy Guerrero's out there shaking his fucking ass to Wrecking Ball after this game, it's the wrong call. So we'll keep that in mind. I need you guys to help me scrub for that. If there's a big player concert afterwards, you gotta let me know. Don't leave me on the island. I don't mind being on the island, but the Phillies yesterday, man, they got me good. That's all right. It's all good. SF Niner says, bro actually thought Dodgers had a chance. Oh, man. I don't know. I think the Dodgers still have a shot. I don't want to put the bow on them yet. And I'm not putting the bow on this under 8.5 yet. It's my play of the day. I told you you're not going to like it. And I can't not take it. I'll come back and talk about that. I'll just talk real quick about this Tampa Bay game. The trends support the under. It's a 9. You guys talked about Cannon and Tampa Bay in this spot there. I don't like this game. I don't like what's happening in recent form for Tampa Bay. I mean, yeah, they won yesterday 4-3. That was an under. And they've gone under in 3 of their last 4, but you don't know what you're going to get out of the White Sox. My gut tells me, despite the White Sox being a mediocre ball club and have excelled as they won, 5, 6 in a row, they were due to take that loss and they took it last night. But what were you laying? -239 for Tampa. The game's just unplayable to me. If you're going to play anything, I would take the under. I think that was a strong look for me in that game. I can't get there. I can't get there. As much as I can get there with 2 spots on one game, you might be sitting there going, how can you get there with 2 spots? It's because that's the way I kept the card, man. You guys know this. You've been around long enough. You see it, you like it, you do it. I don't like Cannon. I don't like Taj Bradley. I started out the year liking Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley came off a great performance, 6 innings pitched his last game for 3 hits. I would strongly lean to the under. Taj Bradley shit the bed for a little bit there at the end of June. He gave up 5 runs, 3 runs, and 1 run. Granted, no home runs. So what happened? He was just walking dudes, or ducks on the pond. Ultimately, I mean, he's been consistently walking a guy. But 8 hits against that Baltimore game, he gave up 5 runs. 6 hits against that Minnesota game, he gave up 3 runs. 2 hits against Boston, he gave up a run. He bounced back against Baltimore. Granted, it was home. They had that 4 straight road game series out there for him. So I would bank on Taj Bradley to bounce back. I don't want to bank on it, though. You guys talked about the Ks. Each of these guys have gotten the K rate running tonight, or today, this afternoon. So I get it. I can support it. I can endorse it. I just can't give it to you as a best bet. Sorry. Even I have my limits. But we have lefty on lefty tonight. And Jesus God, could this be the spot that we get this fucking under and stop scoring meaningless runs in the 9th inning? I can't not do it. I talked about Miami in that last series, and I kept fading Miami, and then I didn't play it, and Miami ended up losing. I just can't do it. Won't do it. Going to get involved in this under. There's a couple of reasons this under jumps out the page at me. And these trends aren't just the fact that, remember, we talked about this one the other day. When the Rangers find themselves in favorites over -1, was it 125? They're -140 favorite. Now, the line has come way the fuck down. You got 92% of the bets and 75% of the cash on the Rangers. It's come down from -185 to -140. So you got to look at that, almost a 50-cent move against Texas. Correlated and sharper betting coming in, respected sharp action coming in on this athletic side of things here. We got a differential of 17 points, one of the highest on the board. Some big cash coming in on the ace. Totals moved from 8 to 8.5. Thank you, baby Jesus. Yesterday it went from 8 to 7.5. I had this sneaky suspicion. Now, I did the same thing with the Brewers. I told you guys, gave out the under 7 early in the day, and then it dropped to 6.5. They still only got 6 runs in that game, but it was sweaty in that Brewers-Seattle's game. This game moved from 8 to 8.5. This game went the other direction with 85% of the bets and 87% of the cash on the over in this spot. It's Corbin. It's JP Sears. I think that's why it moved. I still think people are looking at that Corbin narrative saying it's Patrick Corbin Day. It's Patrick Corbin Day. Yeah, I get it. I understand it's Patrick Corbin Day, but bottom line, let me bottom line this MFer. Road dogs against lefties are 123 and 82. This is a lefty on lefty matchup. You know I love unders in that spot. You know it. Almost automatic. It's not automatic, but it's almost. When Texas is at home against the AL, the under is 21 and 2. Guess which 2 games went over? It's comical because it's fucking unbelievable. 21-0 was what we were going into this spot. That's why I can't not do it. It's 8-2 in its last 10. And when Texas closes out a series, they're 25-7 to the under. They're ready to move the F on. The bottom of their pitching staff, marginal, as is the rest of the pitching staffs on the other side. The only difference in this game and what led me to the JP Sears side of things here is, Sears coming off a bad outing. But before that, he was 5 innings, pitched into 6 innings 3 times. He does pitch to contact. That's certainly something to be concerned with when it comes to the total. But I have a good feeling on this Oakland team here tonight, specifically looking at, a lot of trends support Texas. They're a big favorite for a reason, but Jesus, that reverse line, it's huge. It's monstrous. Patrick Corbin, I was looking at some of the pitching rotational stuff out there when you look at kind of pitcher versus batter. And it's Patrick Corbin. So a lot of teams are going to have good numbers against this guy. The Athletics play better at home, or on the road rather. And some of their best guys, Langoliers and they're smacking over a 400 on this guy. On the flip side, on the Texas side of things against JP Sears, Josh Young, 15 at-bats, 5 hits, no runs produced from it. So there's, what do you call that? You're not achieving the result you should. That's not the term. It's expected production. Negative expected production, I think, is the term for that. Anyways, we'll work it out together as a team. The only guy that's really had any results are Marcus Semien. 26 at-bats with 6 hits and 2 home runs against JP Sears. I'm good to go with this under again. I know it's my favorite play of the day, and be damned if it ends up with another fucking 6-3 win and it goes to the 9. I'll just be beside myself. But I'm going to take Oakland at the plus money spot as well in this case because I think Sears can outduel Patrick Corbin. He started out the year phenomenal. We all said, holy shit, it's the second coming of Corbin. Guy's played on 15 teams in the Major League Baseball. He's given up 1 million runs each season out there. He came out, he played beside himself with this Texas Rangers team. He's due for regression. He's projecting, and trajectory is showing. I'm struggling to talk today. Anyways, I like the under in this spot. Here we go. Vitalis with a terrific stat, says Bill Miller will be umpiring tonight for the Oakland game. He calls 25 more strikes than average umpire. Miller has 8% less runs per game he umps. I love it. We had one of those stats for these boys on 2 nights ago, too. Man. And yes, Jerry Davis, they are bad against producing against lefties, and specifically JP Sears. So I give you that spot there. I like that opportunity out there to double dip. I thought we had 3 double dips. I guess we only had 2. I guess I lied to you guys. Shame on me. It was a strong lean to the under in that Cleveland game. Maybe that's what I was thinking. I got a WNBA spot for you guys. 1 play, 1 game. 2-0 last night in the WNBA. Hey, we're back, baby. We're feeling that WNBA. That was the first game back from the All-Star game, right? So 5-game slate we picked and fucking should have just, how do you come in here and say, hey, my favorite WNBA play is to take this 9.5-point dog as money line? We didn't talk about it. I'll say that, but it's one thing to talk about. It's another thing to click it. Atlanta Dream, Phoenix Mercury. This will be the Mercury's first game coming back from the All-Star break. So do we have rest versus rust? The rust certainly has been knocked off the brakes from last night's performance out there with the Atlanta Dream. Now, the Atlanta Dream certainly leaves some to be desired. No question about it. In fact, these teams played last year, and the Mercury beat them up 3-1 in the series. Last night, we saw the Dream did not have a dream. They got busted up 87-72 against Las Vegas. In hindsight, Las Vegas was one of those teams that teams projected to do well this year, and they struggled off the hop. They couldn't. Remember, we were talking about this like in the first couple games of the season. This Vegas team's numbered. They just can't get it right, so we're going to keep fading them until they find themselves in a groove. They may very well start getting there. It's a little early to kind of go all in on the groove yet with this team, but I'll say this. When star players come back, we want to fade the teams. Furthermore, this line's moved, and we always want to be, I don't want to say always, but more often than not, we want to be on the back end of the line movement, right? So if you were one of those guys that woke up and saw the Mercury play in the Dream at 10 p.m. tonight, and you were like, hey, or girls, excuse me, guys or girls, and you were like, -3.5 is not enough, and you were able to get 3.5 or even to 4, good for you. This thing's moved 4 points to 7.5. It's not moved too far. Why? Listen to the profile of these two teams. The Dream averaged 83.3 points. The Mercury averaged 83.5 points. The Dream averaged 42.8% shooting. The Mercury averaged 43.3% shooting. The Dream allows 78.7 points. The Mercury allows 79.4 points. They both are around that 42 percentile in allowing shooting. Shots allowed, 42.5% on the Dream side, 42.2% on the Mercury side. These two teams are, on paper, pretty fucking close. Now, when we talk about the star players, Savali and Cooper come back for the Mercury. Maybe that's why the line moved. They'll still be without McConney, concussion, and Kalani Brown. Knee issue. She's probable, but I'm speculating. I'm trying to forecast that she won't play. Ryan Howard will be out for the Dream, but you're bringing players in, you're bringing players out. You got the rest factor. These two teams are 5-5 head-to-head, and Mercury nuked them last year. Mercury did go into the break hard. There's no question about it. They were on a little 3-game winning streak. They lost that last game to the Lynx. No harm, no foul. The Lynx, good team. We know they're a defensive-oriented team. They did get busted up, though, by 13 points. So all of that rolled into it. I'm going to take the Atlanta Dream. I think it's too many points out there. I don't think the wrong team's favored, like I said last night. I think this is probably a get-in type of spot where you can maybe catch it live at 8.5 or 9. It's probably going to be a 4-point game. I think it comes down to a 4. You know, for what it's worth, a lot of action on the over. It moved 4 points on the over. Typically, overs and dogs are the factor that goes into this thing. The dogs keep scoring, and that's why the game keeps generating over. The home team's not playing any defense. The favorite's not playing defense, or not enough defense. And I think the injuries speak to that matter of hand. So we'll close the show off with a WNBA 10 p.m. play. Atlanta Dream plus 7.5. We'll take the points, and we'll see if we can't catch a W. Nasty Nate likes the Mercury second quarter for our guy, Nasty Nate. Stop Geos is using MGM Boost on Seager over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Catch this in 10. 17 of his last 20. Doesn't want the matchup versus lefties, but I watched him versus Scooble. Scooble's on paternity leave. Second kid, spitting out. And he had multiple hits against. Think we can get this one. Redbeard says, poor Dodgers. All right, you guys, that's the way we do it here tonight. So make sure you smash that thumbs up. If you haven't done it on the way out the door, leave a comment post-show. Tell me your favorite play. I'll make sure to comment back. And good luck to everybody out there. Don't forget, First Strike will pop out tonight. We'll have it out there for you guys around, 9:30-ish? Usually is when it gets out there. So 9:30 tonight, we'll give you our 3 bets out there for the fight card. And lots of luck with your betting tonight. Good luck with that action. Small card. Be careful. Be responsible. We'll be back here to do it again tomorrow. We got a larger card tomorrow. More card tomorrow, I should say. We got early action tomorrow as well. So stay tuned. Get ready. Get set. On behalf of the Sports Money crew, thank you guys for checking in with us and helping us build this community. We appreciate your support. All you guys coming back here on a regular basis to support the Sports Money cause. This community, we're building it together. We're growing this damn thing together, and it's because of you guys. So much thank yous to every one of you guys being out in here. Shout out to Stop Geoengineering, Redbeard, Nasty Nate, SF Niner, Jerry Davis, Mike Palace in the house, Irish King. Thank you guys all, man. That's shows a lot that you guys come through here, even on the dog days. Fernando Mendoza's checking in with us. Barry, Bo Jackson. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys all. Markel for being a part of this thing that we're doing. AOD, Gerald Jones, 3 a.m. Shout out, man. I hope you guys have a terrific night. Damon Waring. Shout out to everybody that's in here. If I missed anybody, sports betting, Patrick, the Groovy Alley. Shout out to you, my dude. Ignatius Penny Feather the 7th. Devin, you look more. Shout out to you guys. Have a great night. Good luck with your betting. And how about this? Well, how about we do a little outro on the way out the door here to get everybody jazzed up a little bit here. Let's go. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Bring sleep.